we got really bad news. So 80 psi. This system's almost flat. Okay, so I'm at a quote-unquote maintenance call. Refrigerant in the scale. So went to this customer last year. We've been going to him for years. Mike's been servicing him for years and years and years, but his equipment was replaced. And we didn't replace it. They replaced it a year and change ago. Why isn't it running? It's not running because it tripped on low pressure. But yeah, so this customer replaced his system before last season. So yeah, this customer replaced his equipment right before last season. I think more so in the winter time before last season, but he didn't use us. He went with someone else who was cheaper and called us for that first season. Didn't seem to be cooling well. Has a refrigerant leak. So brand new equipment, leaking refrigerant. Installers said they don't have any labor warranty on any of the services that they did, so he's kind of stuck. But I presented the options, the 5 options. So we have first option, which is do nothing, and the system will continue to perform as it's performing. Second option is to add refrigerant with no guarantee or warranty on how long it will last. Third option is to add refrigerant with sealant and dye. The downside of that, especially on such a new system, is that it does void warranties. But that's an attempt to stop the leak or make it more easy to find. But we actually have good luck with the sealant, so that is nice. But he just added refrigerant last year with no sealant. I'm just looking up my probes right now to see what our pressures look like. The fourth option is to do a leak search and repair, and the fifth option is system replacement. So he wants to do. We just discussed this in detail. I didn't even put gauges on it yet. He presumed that it's leaking, but just got my gauges hooked up and open up my app. See what we got. We got really bad news. So 80 psi. This system's almost flat. R-410A factory charge is 115 ounces. So 115 divided by 16, 7.2 pounds. So let me give them that news before proceeding, that it's significantly lower than last year. Okay, so being that low on refrigerant, it's gonna be insane if we just gas and go and do the same thing again next year. It's a lot of refrigerant. So I'm going to put some nitrogen in it, see if I can find the leak. And if I find it, I'll show you where it is on camera. If not, then I didn't find it. But he is limiting it to an hour, and I told him that being that we lost 7.5 pounds, I can't be sure, but I'm leaning towards that I think I'll be able to find this leak relatively quickly, because that's a big leak. But it's not gonna hold me to it. I just told him that I don't think I would be spending hours upon hours here with no result, which is possible, but what do I need? The hose is over there. Let's see my nitrogen. Oh, I need my detector and my bubbles. So here, we'll see what happens. Look at that. We got our leak. We got the leak. That's a nice, easy repair. So, let's give him the news. Okay, got my torch, hot block, pulled the Schraders, put the hot block on the king valve, got my nitrogen flowing, which I don't know if you could hear, but you can hear right there, that little hiss. So let's see how I can record this like this. That's pretty good. Maybe a little tough to not block the camera, but got my little mini torch tip rig. I love it. Where'd my braze rod go? Got my braze rod. Just gonna put a little bit of a bend on to make my life easier. Spark. I don't want to heat just that area. I don't trust that this was a good solder at all. Or a good braze. So I'm going to try to kind of re-braze that whole joint. Like, kind of a tough spot to get to, actually. Gotta keep my hose out of the way. And I can't really see, but people are probably going to comment that that braze was terrible. It's kind of a tough spot, and trying to record it at the same time is kind of tough, but really tried to get the whole way around, get that whole joint super hot to make sure that the braze rod actually, like, I don't know, fused with the copper the whole way around, because I don't want it to just be filled with braze. I want the braze to become one with the pipe. So let that cool for a little bit. Throw some nitrogen in and spray it down with bubbles. Make sure got no leaks. Spray this one down too, even though I sprayed it down before. But yeah, that stinks that they just installed it and it leaked. I had this happen though, where I used the Stay Bright 8 silver solder on a new install. It leaked within a few days. I had to go back and fix it. But you would think that the installers would come and fix this for him, but they didn't. Okay, just threw in some pressure, made sure we got no leaks there. It's a pretty smooth brace joint, so no weird ripples or bubbles or whatever. Just sprayed that one down. Let's spray this one down as well. Make sure we're not getting any bubbles. Now we'll get our vacuum hooked up and pull a vacuum. Now, I absolutely love that brazing rig. But one thing that really stinks is that when all these helpers and apprentices and new hires that we have don't take care of anything. So the covers for the gauges go missing because it gets thrown around, gets dinged up, and then it's useless. But whatever, it still works. And that kind of speaks to something when all these people comment about how quickly we go through people that leave comments on Mike's videos that he's the common denominator. When all these people that we're going through are treating expensive equipment like that, like my brazing rig, like my tools that they lose in the attic, and no, that doesn't say the common denominator is Mike. That says it's these people that don't care and don't want to learn. Mike's a super good boss if you're a good worker. He treats James and I very well because we work very hard. And he pays us well. I'm very happy with my job. Otherwise, I'd find a new one. So, all you people that blame Mike, that we go through people like crazy, if Mike was to blame, then I wouldn't be here. James wouldn't be here. But yeah, I'm just hooking up the vacuum pump now. These caps are on the pump too tight. See, that's another thing. How come whenever I go to take these caps off the vacuum pump, they're so incredibly tight? Like, they don't need to be so tight that I have to use a channel lock to get them off. Yeah, I'm gonna hook up my blue hoses. I got my blue vac micron gauge. Schrader cord's pulled. Once I get this hooked up, I'll run an extension cord and turn it on. We'll get this vacuum pulled as quick as we can, because it pays hourly, and I don't want to kill him. But yeah, it is 4:10. So let's see how long it takes us to get this vacuum pulled. So I cleaned this thoroughly, following the procedures with rubbing alcohol and then letting it dry and calibrating it with the freezer and everything, and it's locking out on oil. And I did this just this weekend. This is the first time I'm using it since cleaning it. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, so I just broke the vacuum with the refrigerant, pulled my gauge off. The unit took the refrigerant so quick. It's always cool when you have a vacuum and then you let refrigerant go into the system, how quickly it sucks it out of the tank. So in just a matter of a few seconds, we're already at 2 pounds. Hopefully it takes the whole factory charge without having to turn the unit on, and then I can just disconnect everything, get it out of the way, proceed with maintenance. While vacuuming, I tested the contactor and the capacitor on this unit, which are good. Still got to check this unit. I did these disconnects last year because they replaced this AC unit, but they left the old disconnect. And when I went to pull the disconnect last year, the entire disconnect box inside, everything shattered into pieces and started sparking everywhere. So I replaced them both because they were both wired into each together. It looks like we might take the whole charge. Glad that was an easy repair, and I'm sure the homeowner's glad too. And the nitrogen didn't show any other leaks, the vacuum was fine, so I think he's gonna be good to go. Which is nice, because having a refrigerant leak on an R-22 system being the main reason you switch to a new system, and then you just have a refrigerant leak on the new 410 system, which is now being phased out. That's like such a miserable position to be in, but at least it'll be taken care of today, and he doesn't have to worry about it anymore. At least that's the hope. I don't doubt that I don't think there's any other leaks, because nitrogen didn't show leaks and the vacuum was fine, then there shouldn't be any leaks. But I had an ACIQ unit where the line set was leaking, and I got a good nitrogen pressure test and I got a good vacuum. It's strange. Unless the leak happened after, but I don't think so. We're at 7 pounds. I'm gonna stop it at just about 7.5, and then I'll check our pressures and make sure we're okay when it's running. Okay, well, not great, but it's cooling. It's a piston, and there's no superheat because restriction in airflow. The unit's pinned in a room vertically. It's installed vertically, pinned in between two walls. There's no like way to make ductwork better without taking up room in like the hallway or whatever. So we are cooling, starting to condense already. Repair is made. That makes me happy. So now this unit is good to go, and I'll just do maintenance on this unit, which surprisingly isn't too bad, especially considering how old it is. See, that's how long Mike's been coming here, that his stickers looks like that. It is a super nice feeling knowing that this is taken care of. I've actually thought about this job frequently because I hated that. I hate when people go with somebody else and then they end up having nothing but problems. They end up paying more than what they would have paid if we just came and replaced it. And if we had replaced it, something like this happened, then we would take care of it because we guarantee our work. But it is what it is. I am just happy that it's fixed. I'm sure he's going to be very happy that it's fixed and dealt with. He doesn't have to spend $1,000 in refrigerant every year. I mean, that's not what he spent last year, but still, he doesn't have to spend money every year for a temporary fix. Just put everything that I don't need away. This is when it would be nice to have a helper, because then I could just keep working and he could put stuff away. But most of the helpers don't put things away right, so it's like so retarded. Parked across the street because GPS took me that way. And I didn't want to turn around on a main road. Easier to just run across it. For anyone wondering how I'm staying hydrated, Schweppes, not a sponsor. That'd be super cool to be sponsored by a seltzer company. That'd be awesome. Any seltzer companies that end up watching my video, if you sponsor me, I would appreciate it. Okay, let's hold that. I can't show you everything, but let's get resistance reading on that contactor. Let's see, maybe I can let that go. Slowly moving. Hopefully it doesn't touch anything. Why am I not reading anything good? Let's see. It's hard to do this with one hand. 18 ohms. So our contactor is okay. And can't get it in fully. My Leatherman. Let's see if I get zapped. I don't think I will. So I shouldn't be grounded to anything. Yeah, no zappage. And see, that's the thing with this Leatherman, it's got metal handles, so I guess I really shouldn't be using it. But I do have the proper tools. Set that for microfarads. And let's see, what do we have? 35/5. Let's pull Herm and fan. Move those out of the way. Go from fan to common 5, and from common to Herm 34.2. So that is plenty okay. Those wires back on. And, oh, I just got a notification that Mikey Pipes posted a video. I'm going to hook up my probes. Now, Mike doesn't check refrigerant pressures when he does AC maintenances. And I do. And I explained this to Gio the other day. I checked them because I was on a job and the job was in AC maintenance. It's like 8 systems or something. There's a lot of units, but so I did the AC maintenance and I checked delta T, and I had 15 to 20 degree delta T on all my units. I obviously did capacitors, contactors, clean coils and everything, but I didn't check pressures because Mike had always said there's no need to check pressures if you don't suspect a problem. And I thought I had verified that there was no problem because I had a good delta T. Then it came back like the next 3 days later. They were complaining of no cooling and the coil was frozen and they had low refrigerant. Everything's wired back up here. Probes are hooked up. Go turn the power back on. This is R-22. But yeah, so I told Mike it was low in refrigerant. He said, well, why didn't you check pressures? So now I always check pressures. Don't have a good ground on suction line. There we go. Yeah, these are going to end up being fine, as they are every year with this unit. Condensing. Probably going to have a lower superheat than ideal, which is usually the case because a lot of people have airflow problems, as in ductwork problems. But we're going to have good subcooling. I guess we could take an amp draw on, this should be the fan. Yep, 0.93, 0.92. And for compress, well, how about the other? This should be the other. What's going on here? The other leg of the fan. Why is that happening? Everything's going wrong. So much for me loving this meter. What's going on here? Unless that's, oh well, it's because it's going to common on the capacitor, so it's doing the fan and the, alright, so I'm just going to do this. 5.4, so that's the whole system. It's 5.4. Do it on this side. 5.56 minus 5.56 minus, oh come on, what is going on with my meter? .9. That's our compressor. I wonder if that's why. There's a little bit of corrosion in there. Why is it doing this? Oh, now it's good. Just gotta slam it. Yeah. Huh. I guess it's something. Maybe I gotta clean those connections there. Or maybe I gotta buy a new head for it. I know they sell replacement heads for it. Yeah, pressure's... Actually, superheat's getting very high. But, it'll be good. We'll let it run for a little bit longer, but this is gonna end up being fine. Okay, so that's that. I'm gonna put my stuff away, get 2 stickers to put on the unit. Mike texted me. We're gonna give him the option of a 5% discount now on the total bill, or basically a 15% discount on the total bill if he signs up for the maintenance agreement. Hopefully he signs up for the maintenance agreement, because then it'll count as one for me, but we'll find out. Okay, so that's it. Finished. He is very happy. Now he's super nice, and we talked for a little bit, but I did ask him, I told him he didn't have to answer, but because the reason, and he was very upfront, that the reason that he went with replacement with somebody else initially was because of the price. So I was curious if after this repair that I did here and the adding refrigerant last year, if he still made out price-wise. And he says he thinks so, just barely. So, I guess that's good for him. Hopefully the equipment lasts. But, yeah. Like the video if you liked it. Comment any advice or criticisms or feedback. What would you have done differently? I don't think there's all that much that there was to have been done differently there. It's pretty straightforward. But, hopefully you enjoyed watching, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.